dear Imirians, to another episode of Immerpreneur, where we learn from successful entrepreneurs. Today's episode takes us to another exciting interview with one of Immery Ghana's pride for being the first one-star director of Immery Africa and Middle East region. And he will be talking to us about how a definite game plan constitutes being a successful entrepreneur such as himself. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to introduce to you one-star director, Mr. Daniel Sekpey. Welcome to the show, Mr. Daniel.
Thank you, Madam Gladys. I'm pleased and blessed to be here on the Immerpreneur show.
Thank you.
I trust you are doing well. I trust that we'll share information of value for our viewers and listeners and cherished distributors.
Definitely. We will have a very nice conversation today. So first and foremost, I would like to congratulate you for being the first one-star director outside of the People's Republic of China. And I know that you're also the first recipient of the brand new car for the Africa and Middle East region. And you've also won the President's Challenge for an all-expense trip to the Philippines last year. So basically, it's like you're not only...
That's right.
Yeah. You're not just an active leader or an inspiring leader in Immery, but you're also actually a reverend in a local church in Accra. Tell me, Mr. Daniel, how do you manage your time between serving your business partners and your spiritual community?
Thank you so much for the congratulatory message. The glory goes to the powerful system put together by the management, the shareholders of Immery, and the leadership of the team in Africa, and also my entire team, and also the entire Immery community. We wouldn't have done it without them. Yes, indeed, I am an active leader in network marketing industry, and also I'm also an active pastor in my local church. I would say that I've been able to achieve balance between the two activities, going back to what I always believe as knowing why you are doing what you are doing and what you want out of the two situations. I believe that God coming into my life at the point when I needed Him has altered the course of my life for good. And based on what I've received freely from God, I also want to share it with humanity. And I also come into network marketing as a way of achieving results, achieving success, to continue to generate enough income to support my vision and my mission as a pastor in a local church where I don't depend on the church for any source of income. So the most important thing in balancing the two has always been wisdom and sacrifice. The willingness to sacrifice whatever you have to do to achieve the two. So for me, it doesn't be so much of a stress or a hassle, like I would say, balancing the two activities. Because one, I know for a fact why I am serving the ministry. I believe that it is a cause for me. And also, I see network marketing also as a cause for me. A cause not only to achieve my own financial freedom, but a cause to impact the life of many other people in multiple locations. One of my life's vision is based on a book by one of my mentors, Robin Sharma. Robin Sharma wrote a book, Who Will Cry When You Die? And upon reading that book about 10 years ago, it literally became a mantra. Many people would have heard me say it, who will cry when you die? And I believe, absolutely believe, that the day I was born, the people around me rejoiced, and probably I was the only one crying. Now, I want to reverse it by the time I check out of this world. By the time I check out of this world, I want to live a fulfilled life. I want to write my name in the heart of so many people. I want to be able to impact so many people around me. And so I use network marketing as a vehicle to achieve that by touching so many lives, so that when I'm taken out of this world, I should be the one rejoicing and let multiple people across the world be the one crying this time around. And so based on this, I set my plans, and one of the best ways to manage your activities is what we call power hour, daily quiet time, or the sphere of silence. based on a book written by Robin Sharma, the 5 a.m. Club. The 5 a.m. Club. It is believed, and this has also been taught to us by Mr. Yapo Inye, that successful people will normally wake up at least an hour earlier to go through the power hour to set their day in perspective. In the power hour, what you do is that you review your yesterday's goals, things that you did right, things that you didn't do. Then you set up the agenda for today and things that you need to do. So you take 1 hour out of the 24 hours to set the tone for the rest of the 23 hours. Because if you miss that 1 hour, then the 24 hours may be a mess. So I routinely, religiously practice this power hour, which sets the day in agenda. So by the time day break and you begin to enter into the hustle and bustle of the day, you know exactly the things that you have to do, the things that you have to achieve for each day. And that has helped me put ministry and business into perspective to be able to balance the two appropriately. Thank you.
So basically what I've learned from you is that you have to have focus. And if you have focus, you usually practice the power hour where you wake up an hour earlier each day. So what helps you really knowing during your power hour what you need to do in a day, being organized, and knowing why you're actually doing it in the first place? Is that right?
You definitely need focus in everything that you plan to achieve. Because without focus, you tend to divide your attention all over the place. And just like he said, that if you concentrate to the sun by a magnifying glass onto one location on the paper and gather all the sun's rays together, you may spark a fire. And so you need focus. And the power hour kind of gives you focus into the day, the things that you need to do per every hour or for every section of the day. And one of the things I normally tell people is that when you solve emergencies, you continue to solve emergency. You need to be intentional. You need to be deliberate in all your activities. And the power hour just gives you that intense power of intent into your day and prepares you ahead of the day. So you actually win before you begin the day.
You have been called the most hardworking leader ever in Ghana, and you are also bringing prospects and guests to the Imri office, even on weekends. I believe successful entrepreneurs made it not just being hardworking. They also seem to have a game plan, and they work on it until they win the game. Perhaps you can share with us and our audiences what your game plan is and how it can work for them.
Yes, it's true. I don't really believe that I'm the most successful or hard-working distributor in Ghana or in Immerpreneur, but my key or the secret has been the game plan. Because sometimes you can be working hard, but working hard the wrong way. And it is not only the hardest working person who wins. But if you work according to a game plan and you work intently, then you will win. And so the game plan is what does the magic for us. Because many people in their game plan have a wish, but not the activities. So you see people make resolutions, people set targets, I want to achieve something, but they don't have the activities that will take you to achieve those things. So you set per quarter what you want to achieve, then you break it down backwards to monthly, weekly, and to daily. So you boil those things down. That helps you to progress on daily basis. So for instance, if you set a target to achieve a manager in our business in the next 3 months, what are the activities you are doing? And by breaking it down daily and through the power hour, you do your review. You will know whether you are moving on daily basis towards that goal or that target that you have set for yourself. Because our 19 girls said that success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So the 90-day game plan includes your goals, your dreams, your vision for whatever you are doing. Then you include the activities, which are what must I do. So for instance, there are three things that I do in my game plan. The first one is to do a name list.
Name list.
So I have a name list of people that I need to talk to. And they are not on the phone. I didn't know this would come up. I'll pull it out of my library. They are not on my phone. So it's a name list of people. You have written down the name, the number, and where they are. Then the second thing is that I grow the name list on daily basis. Now, how do I grow the name list? On every day, you either meet new people. And when you meet new people, what I do is that I add them to the list. The mistake many people make is that when they meet a new person, they instantly want to introduce their opportunity to that new person. But that may not be the right time. You follow a routine way of presenting the opportunity. So I do the name list. I grow the name list continually. So I'm always adding a name to my list so that I don't ever get exhausted of my name list. So you normally, when my mentor taught me this, he taught me to do a name list of between 150 people and to grow them, because if you have only 150 people and you talk to them, what if none of them enroll on the business? That means that you have exhausted all avenues. But when you grow your name list on daily basis, it means that you always have people to talk to. Grow the name list by adding people that you meet on daily basis, different circumstances. We meet people, sometimes meet people at airports, meet people at hotel lobbies on the way to work. Sometimes I'm even very intentional. I give people lifts on the roadside. When I see that they are going to my direction, I give them lifts. And just to make friends with them, I don't tell them anything about the business, but we exchange contact. And when we exchange contact, I add them on the list and add their name and how and where I met them. Sometimes I make a call to just find out about how they are doing, and I'm looking for a click in our conversation that will make it suitable for me to present the opportunity. Because there's no point presenting an opportunity to somebody who doesn't need it. And it's based on a book by Harvey Mackay. Harvey Mackay wrote a book, Dig Your Well Before You Are Tested. You have to have the name list before you need it. You don't look for the name when you need it. So after you have the name list and you keep growing the name list, the next set of things that I do on my journey of success in my game plan is to do presentations. There are three types of presentations. We have group presentations that we do in the office, currently on Zoom. I am present on almost every Zoom call throughout the day, because I'm never satisfied of learning. But it's said that when you stop learning, you stop growing. Every presenter has something specific to share. We can glean a piece of knowledge from every presenter, and that increases our value to the marketplace. So I'm a presentation sponge. Then that's the group presentation. Then you have one-on-one presentation, and you also have three-way calls that we do. I normally like one-on-one presentations, but even in the era of COVID-19, we have multiple presentations going on right now in Zoom. I happened to chance on Philippines, their Zoom call recently, and I was on the call. They were surprised to see me on the call. We have calls from Nigeria, Ghana, multiple calls a day. They are all parts of the game plan, part of activities towards the game plan. And I don't only attend these calls, but as soon as I see the call, we post it to also our team members and also my prospects to be able to attend. Once you show them the opportunity, the next thing is I try to get them committed, try to get a decision for them when they want to start the journey of their success. And once they make a decision, then we plug them through the system, the process of going through the system, which in Emery includes the business opportunity presentation, the member orientation program, the Emery Growth Center trainers, the product mastery, and then also business startup units, and then Velocity Camp. It's a whole cycle of events designed to take a distributor from a new position to a successful place. So a definite game plan is important for winning. Nobody ever wins without a plan. It is said that failure to plan is planning to fail. Thank you.
That's right. So what you're saying is that it's not just like a game plan, but you actually have to have a timeline and put urgency into your timeline. And the weightage of combining these two elements encompasses only having one element at a time. So a lot of people have a game plan, but they don't have the
Mhm.
sense of urgency. And this is what the failure comes about, right?
Yes, Gladys, that is very, you just mentioned a very important element to succeeding and following your game plan. There are many people in life who wish things will happen, who have desires that are only wishes. For instance, it's said that many people give up on their New Year resolution by the end of the first month of the year because they only wish that things will happen, they only wish that things will change, but they don't have a game plan for making those change. Because growth and change is intentional. You must be intentional about your growth and change. So once you have your game plan, you must incorporate into it a timeline
Right.
of achieving the things in the game plan. Now that brings into perspective what we call in goal setting, short-term goals, medium-term goals, and then long-term goals. That helps us to have a timeline. Now, anybody who is successful, anybody who is intentional, knows exactly when they want to achieve a result.
Right.
For instance, when it comes to the game of football, many managers know when the game has been won. And when the game is not won at that point, they are almost losing the game. So you need a timeline in your game plan when you want to achieve your goals. That will take into consideration your capacity, both knowledge-wise, physically, and the activities that you are undertaking. Don't say that because somebody achieved director in 1 year, you also do it without doing the activities that the person did. Because affirmation without action leads to delusion. So a lot of people affirm, I can do it, I'll be successful, but they don't take the necessary action and they become very deluded. So you need the game plan, you need to build into it a timeline which allows you to mark your progress on the journey to your definite goal. Sometimes it's not even about winning. It's just about the activity. Because there's a law called the law of average, which causes things to even out in the process. So as you start the journey, some activities, people will count them as failure, but they are actually not failure. They are part of your journey to success. They are part of your step to success. So those activities are important. Then the next element, apart from building in the timeline into your game plan, is that you must have a definite sense of agency. There are many people who said, I will do this, but I'll do it tomorrow. We have had people who said, I'll give up bad habits. They said the 31st December, and then they are planning to do it the next year, which gives them over 12 months again to keep up that bad habit. So you need a sense of agency. Ami Kamika said that we have a lifetime or eternity to celebrate the victory that we have achieved, but we have just a few short hours before sunset to be able to do them. And there's a time that comes when no man can work. We call it the night hour, when no man can work. So when we have the day, which is the time that we have the opportunity, we need to apply the maximum force to it with a sense of agency so that we don't procrastinate things. You want to do presentation, but you will do it tomorrow. You want to make that call, but you do it tomorrow. You want to follow up that person, but you do it next week. And so you keep procrastinating things, and that delays many people in achieving their goals, their dreams, and their visions, and leads to what we call failure of the game plan. With built-in timeline and a sense of agency is quite important in achieving significant success in whatever we do.
So basically what you're saying is that in between going up the ladder of success, you can't expect yourself to win all the matches. You know, it doesn't matter if you lose some, but the most important thing is that you pick yourself up and work through your game plan to win the other matches all the way to the top. And of course, the ultimate goal of any game plan is to actually win. And in game plans, like you mentioned, people sometimes they lose focus. Just like when you make your New Year's resolution, right? They want to lose weight, they want to start
Yeah.
smoking. Some of them procrastinate. How do you
Yeah.
personally stay focused in sticking to your game plan?
Yes, so Gladys, it's very true that in the game plan you need focus, one, and also you need a proper attitude and a proper perspective on your game plan. The game plan is not always about winning. You must always have the mind and the psychology that you don't always win. Life is not one continuous upward journey. There are hills, there are valleys that we go throughout life. Sure as the night cometh after the day, so also sometimes what is perceived to be failure comes after success. So you need that mind and that perspective on your journey of success. For instance, whether you take a game of football, whether you take a game of basket, you take a game of boxing, everybody loses at a point, and a true champion picks themselves up. So if you take the Premiership, for instance, there are about 18 to 20 teams in the Premiership. Very few times can you play the Premiership and win all your games from the match day 1 to match day 36 if it's 18 teams. By all means, you will lose. But for the winners is to win more than they lose. And your ability to win more than you lose is to keep your game plan in focus and also to carry out more activities with the right attitude. Now, if after every game, what a successful football team does is that they revisit the game.
Mm-hmm.
What did we do wrong? What did we do right? And use it to plan for the next day. And that is what is very important when you do your power hour. Because your power hour enables you to evaluate your yesterday's activities. Are they taking you closer to your goal? And then based on that, you formulate the plan for today's activity and carry out the necessary activities that one needs to undertake. So it's very important to keep focus. And the power hour actually gives you focus for the activities that one needs to do. Because if you rush into the day, a lot of things can come to you. So you need to be intentional in your putting your effort where it is needed most, not just because the thing is urgent or it's an emergency, you must attend to it. Thank you very much.
Right. I believe that what you're actually driving at is integrity. The integrity to keep doing something that you promised yourself to do, like being focused. You always have to stick to the game plan. Do you agree that integrity is a key in following this game plan?
Yes, integrity plays a very important role in success. Now, my simple definition of integrity is doing what you said you would do when no one is watching you, and long after the emotion with which you said it is gone.
Right.
It is very simple to be in the euphoria and to say that I can do this, I will do this, and I will do this and that. But long after the euphoria have died down, if you go on to do the things that you said you would do, that means integrity. For instance, there are many people, when I tell them, this board is going to break at this time, we are going to do this at this time, sometimes they don't believe me. But when the board break, when I said it will break, they come back and say that I believe you. I fear you. So you are not doing it because they are there, but you keep to yourself that this is what I want to do, and then I will do it. So that is the first one, personal integrity. You need to have personal integrity. That is you doing the things that you need to do. There's another aspect of integrity, which is integrity of the system or systemic integrity. That systemic integrity makes it easy for one to be able to put in the necessary efforts and the activities to achieve the results. For instance, if you trust in the system in which you are working, it is much easier to put in the effort because you believe in the integrity of the system. And one of the reasons why it is so easy for us to achieve results in Immerpreneur is that there is this systemic integrity about the Immerpreneur system. You could see that one knows exactly how much they are going to earn per each level that they advance to. There is no second guessing. As a matter of fact, the record holder for the manager in the whole of Immerpreneur, Godfather said, Mr. Andrew Arno, our first manager from Ghana and Africa and Middle East, said that the only thing he doesn't like about Immerpreneur is the fact that when you achieve a rank, everybody knows how much you have earned.
Right.
And that is a statement of the integrity of the Immerpreneur system. And so that makes it a very important coefficient for success, because with that, I have the assurance that if I do A and B, I will achieve so and so results. Many companies that actually fail or distributors move away from is because of this lack of system integrity or changes that they introduce into the system too abruptly makes the distributors lack belief in the system. So I was very, very excited when Mr. Sekpey, the president for Africa and Middle East, touched on that about 2 weeks, a couple of weeks ago, on trust, where we talk of Immerpreneur built technology, realistic, unconventional, and then system, and then transparency. So every distributor knows that when they come into the system, they have the belief. And based on this, we can now go out and achieve the results without doubting ourselves. So yes, I agree that integrity is a very important component of the journey of success. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Daniel, you didn't disappoint. I also remember Mr. Yap saying during that leadership seminar that you actually quoted, that he has very high respect for your integrity. And that whenever he asked you when you're actually becoming a manager or when you are planning to become a one-star director, you don't only just have a date to it, but you actually also deliver to the promotion of those dates. Do you feel stress in keeping to those promises to the president, or not just the president, I mean to yourself as well?
Yes, it's true. Again, this is what we've been discussing, the game plan and also the power of focus and what you want to achieve. Now, when you meet someone, whether you know the person will succeed or not, will determine whether they are able to give you dates and timelines in your discussion. Right. Sometimes we meet people after presentation, we ask them, when are you going to sign up? And they say soon.
Right.
But there's no date called soon. So based on what we have been discussing so far, through the power of goal setting, knowing my why I am in the business, setting getting my compelling reason, my burning desire, and the willingness to go the extra mile to achieve my goal, taking personal responsibility for my success and the success of the people that are following me. I already predetermined when I'll achieve certain milestones in the business. So anytime the president asks me, I'm able to give him a date. I'm not giving him a date to kind of satisfy him, but that date I'm giving is a pre-owned date. Mm-hmm. It's a date that I've already determined. For instance, many people would testify that when we joined Immerpreneur, there was one of the days where upstairs in the Grove Center, I went to the whiteboard and I began to write car numbers. IMA 1, 2019. And I said that I was going to take that. And then IMA 2, I said, who is going to take that? And I did it up to IMA 5. And I stopped there. And so becoming the first to qualify for the car was very, very intentional. It was predetermined. Again, I remember we're in a meeting when Mr. Yap asked us that, actually told us that the first person to become an elite manager will be going on an all expenses paid president's trip to Philippines, Manila, right. Which I happened to go, was an exciting trip. Right in that meeting, I declared that I was going to be the first elite manager. The truth is that if you ask Mr. Yap, if you ask the country manager of Ghana, Mr. Daniel Annan, if you ask the vice president of Africa, Mr. Queen Komoda, they had in their mind, looking at the performance on the board, who was the closest to becoming an elite manager, and it wasn't me. But right out of that room, I set a game plan called Road to Elite Manager, where I traveled to Lagos. I went to Port Harcourt, went to Uyo, went to Warri. I mean, did a couple of cities on this road to Elite Manager presenting. It was at that point that though there was no product in Nigeria, I was personally selling product to my distributors, paying the cost of selling product to them, because I was intent on achieving my dream. So all these things come into perspective. It doesn't put any stress at all on me. What actually it does for me is that I take Mr. Yap or whoever I say that to as an accountability partner. Because in the journey of success, one of the things that you need is you need an accountability partner. Somebody that will hold you accountable for the things that you said you would do. That you know that if I don't achieve this, then this person will not take my words seriously. So that has been my motivation. It has all been pre-owned, all predetermined. I can tell you specifically how I became an elite manager, how I became a director. I did a specific campaign, Road to Director, one-star director. We're all at Aqua Safari when it happened. And so it's part of the game plan. It's part of your knowing your why, knowing your focus and the activities. The whole environment that comes with succeeding with whatever you want to do. So it's no surprise at all, and I don't feel stressed, and I don't think anybody who truly believes in goal setting will feel stressed given a deadline. It is only when it is outwardly projected to you that it becomes stressful. That is why a lot of people don't like working with target. I don't work with target from the company. Whenever a company makes a promotion, I see it for my good and for the good of the team. And because I know that the bottom line is that if we achieve that, it will help us to succeed. For instance, there was a promotion that we did for our first trip to the UAE, where a couple of leaders went to the UAE. Initially, it looked like a daunting promotion, but having sat down and did the mathematics, I realized that this was actually going to help grow my team. That will lead me to success, and that the trip to Dubai was just a bonus. So with that in mind, I went to work on that promotion, and by the grace of God, we achieved what we had to achieve to be on that trip. We gave the opportunity to meet Mr. Lau, the CEO of the company in Dubai, with other leaders from China. So we met older ladies, older men who were emeralds and sapphires at that point, and that actually threw out a challenge to us that this thing is really possible.
So I'm going to put you in a spot now, Mr. Daniel, for the world to
A spot?
integrity. Yeah.
Wow.
I actually saw on Facebook.
I think I've been on. Okay.
I saw your next goal. It stated that you are going to become a diamond by July 2021. So I believe this is your next goal. So what is your game?
Did you doubt that for a minute?
No.
The greatest pleasure in life is doing what they said could not be done. Now, that is my goal. Go to diamond, 15th July, 2021. Now, the reason why I set that goal is that there are mechanisms in setting goal. It's not just the results. For instance, the most logical goal for me to set is goal to become a 2-star or a 3-star director. But for that, I don't need to stretch to become a 2-star director. It's inevitable. So if I set that goal, it's no goal at all. Because Miles Monroe, one of them, I actually heard it from Miles Monroe. He said that the greatest strategy of life is that it's not that people set goals too high and you don't achieve it. but people set goals too low that they are able to achieve it. So I could have set a goal that I'm going to 2-star, 3-star, and it will be very easy to achieve it, and everybody will celebrate it. But the ideology behind that goal, Diamond, 15th July 2021, is one, to stretch me. Mm-hmm. Because in stretching, you grow. And you can only grow your income by personal growth. And personal growth comes with mindset and the activities that you undertake. So in that goal alone, we are not looking at just Diamond, but we are also looking at the opportunity to grow from my existing level as 1-star director, which will include building new relationships, learning new skills, so many things. And you know, once you stretch yourself, you never return to the original. But definitely, Diamond, 15th July 2021 is the goal. And we started working on it. We know exactly what it means to become a diamond. That means having 3 emeralds. Mm-hmm. And so we identify spots in the team of people who have the same hunger, the same desire, and the same willingness to go to work on their dreams to achieve those dreams. And we are working with them together. And it's not about you achieving, because no man is an island. You can't get there alone. You can only get there when your team is advancing. So in that dream of becoming a diamond, actually there's a specific number of people that we have to help to achieve specific goals for themselves to be able to get there. And all those are in place. And I believe that we are in good hands. We are good to go. Thank you.
To sum it up, this is what I've learned from you today. So focused people use the power hour. They wake up an hour earlier each day to have quiet time, to organize and to balance their time well. Next is that they also create a game plan and practice integrity and stick to this game plan to make sure that they have a sense of urgency when executing it. And that you have to remember that winning small battles is just as important as winning the entire thing. And losing some of them doesn't or shouldn't demotivate you. And I also remembered, and you actually quoted as well, that Mr. Yap kept asking the leaders, when do you want to achieve a certain goal? And some of them, they just say, soon, I'm working on it. But successful leaders are those who actually have set dates and adhering to them. And this is where you, Mr. Daniel, stand out among all the rest. You declare and you deliver. And we will be waiting on that 15th of July, 2021 Diamond achievement. All right?
Diamond we go.
Yeah.
The whole world is my witness. We need to make people aware. So Mr. Yap and all the leaders, all the countries that are watching this will know that I've made that goal. Yes, I'm going for it with all my heart and with all the effort, with all my capacity and with all the knowledge. But even if we don't achieve it, which I'm not making excuse for or room for, it's not a loss, because in trying, we would have achieved more, would have grown bigger than where we are now. But definitely, Diamond is a goal.
You are absolutely right. Thank you, Mr. Daniel, for that lovely sharing today. But before I let you go, we are going to test your knowledge on the countries where So this is a special segment that we prepared just for you. And how it works is that you just need to answer those questions that I will be throwing to you, just 5 of them, and answer them as fast as you can. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. The first one, what is the capital city of Brunei?
Brunei, no idea.
That's okay. We have Bandar Seri Begawan. That's the capital of Brunei.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
The next one, what is the longest river in Asia?
Hey, no idea.
Okay, it's actually the Yangtze River. It's in China.
Okay.
Where our Qingdao office is also.
Head office. Okay.
What is the name of the largest pyramid in Egypt? I don't think you can miss this because you've been inside.
No, this is not. This is the pyramids of Giza. It's named after one of the pharaohs. Yeah.
Right. It's the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Next, you've been to Malaysia, so I think you know this answer. What do you call the currency of Malaysia?
Ringgit Malaysia.
Perfect. There you go. And the last one, which European country once ruled or conquered the Philippines?
Philippines. I don't want to guess, but Philippines. It's good English speaking. I will go for England.
European country is Spain.
Spain, right? Okay. All right. No wonder you have names like Imelda and Marcos. That explains it.
Spanish. Thank you so much for being here on the show today, Mr. Daniel. For our Immerians, stay tuned for the next episode of Immerpreneur.